Okay, so we've worked on the life wheel in relation to happiness. We worked on the scientific definition of happiness and measured that for ourselves. We went into values, what drive us on the inside. We went into the different unconscious or conscious layers where we could set happiness goals or tasks for ourselves or things that we're going to do. We've done that. Now it's kind of time to go into goal setting, okay? And this video is about the NLP way of goal setting, which is based on studying outliers. Meaning an outlier is someone who is extraordinarily successful at, let's say, sports, like a gold medalist. Or an outlier would be someone who is a very successful entrepreneur. That we may read their biographies from or watch on TV and admire. An outlier could be an extremely powerful salesperson or communicator or negotiator or mediator. So those are sort of like, well, how do they do that? Or also like extraordinary people who, without any intervention of a therapist or a drug or anything like that, were able to fix their own phobia. So studies of outliers, the extremely successful, and that's NLP. And then, that's what we teach inside an NLP training, is the outcome of all these studies. So we can teach it to other people so that they can do it for themselves. The scientific way of goal setting, which is I'm going to do next week, that's very different. That's actually studying a lot of people, not necessarily outliers, but random of the mill people from different cultures, different ages, setting different kinds of goals, and sort of like finding out through trial and error what works, what doesn't work. So that's next week. The cool thing is that the NLP way of goal setting, which is much older than the scientific discovery of goal setting, and there's only one scientific way of goal setting, which is not smarting goals, if that's what you think. In fact, if you have a life coach who's smarting goals with you, not really up to date in their skill set, or not using the most powerful tools, in fact. So is that the NLP way of goal setting is a really good light up of the brain. The scientific way of goal setting is sort of like, okay, how can you get the most success based on statistics? But both are actually the same. In fact, the scientific way of goal setting is part of the NLP way of goal setting. The nicer thing is about the NLP way of goal setting is that it lights up the brain more. It's really about an unconscious mind goal set more. It has a little bit more steps. On the blog, you can find all of the different goal setting steps, or well-formed outcomes that we call it. There's also a free guidebook that you get that belongs with this video series of 3 months, which you can get at info@globalnlptraining.com. Okay, it creates great templates for forms and explanations and drawings and things like that. So you can sort of play with that and sort of like lead your way into happiness by doing this free course through Global NLP Training. So anyway, the steps are in that guidebook and on the blog, like I said, but I want to focus on the very first question, which is, what do you want? And as I said, it's about setting an outcome. And it's important that we do that the right way, because if you get off on the wrong track already from the beginning, then the rest of the questions and the steps in this process don't really work as well. So it's setting a well-formed outcome. So I want you to think about your goal, okay? And first of all, is it stated in a positive? That's what I kind of want you to look at, okay? Stated in the positive means, is it what you do want rather than what you don't want, okay? So I don't want to have the job that I currently have. It's not a good goal. I do want to get a promotion. That's a good goal, okay? The danger with the promotion piece is it does mean that you have to do those things in order to get a promotion. Because the second rule of a good goal is that it needs to be initiated and maintained by you. What that means is you are going to do it. So let's just say that I had a boss, and the boss said, if you complete this project with success, then you'll get a promotion. Then that would be perfect goal to set. I'm going to do all of those things in order to complete this project really well. But let's say my bosses really didn't say that. And then I'm going to make my boss give me a promotion. See, that means that my boss actually needs to be doing things, not me. That's not within my control. What my boss thinks, feels, or believes is not within my control. However, actions or navigating obstacles on my side are within my control. Does that make sense? It has to be something that you are going to do to achieve your own happiness rather than make someone else do. The third rule is it needs to have an appropriate chunk size. It means it needs to have some specificity. So I want to be happy in all areas of my life would be nice, but it's not a great way of goal setting. I want to be happy at every little thing that I do in relation to my personal development. Everything, my house needs to be perfect, maybe a little bit much. All my relationships need to be perfect and happy, maybe a little bit much. However, if you just make it more specific, then you can say, I want to set a goal that I am going to spend 8 hours a week seeing 3 different friends. Because I feel like I travel a lot, so I have been disconnected from my friends, and I'm going to spend X amount of hours for so many nights a week, so many days a week. I'm going to see that. See, that's an appropriate chunk size. So I'm not setting the goal, I want to be happy in all my relationships. No, I'm actually going to make an effort to connect better. That is more specific than that. So if that makes sense at all. And then you have to think about, is it what you really want? A lot of people kind of set goals thinking that when they have that, then they will be happy. And that is not really true. So some people think, well, if I have the job of, let's say, coach, then I'll be happy. Okay, that may be true, but could you be happy in the job that you currently have as well? Is there something that you could do? Is there something that you maybe can change in your mind that your job becomes less stressful? So you may want to be a coach, but I also think that a lot of people want to be a coach because they want to be admired, they want to be respected, and I think that you can achieve that in many different ways. Some people also think that if I buy this red expensive Ferrari car, then people will think this about me. And that may not be really, really true. Does that make sense? So you have to think, is it what I really want? And the question that you could ask yourself, what is it that I get through having that? So that's a little bit on the first question or the first step on the NLP goal setting. And like I said, you can find the next steps explained on our blog. But I recommend that you get the guidebook at info@globalnlptraining.com. If you send us an email, we'll send it to you. See you around.